There's something you've been doing your whole life, and you've never once decided to do it. You make yourself quieter in rooms where you could speak. You shrink from things that feel too good, too big, too exposed. And some part of you, the part that watches, knows, this isn't who I am. This is just who I learned to be. You've probably called it fear, maybe overthinking, maybe low confidence. But those words don't quite reach it, because it's not that you can't dream. You do. It's that something intercepts the dream before it lands. Before you can speak, something says, wait. Before you can try, something whispers, not yet. Before you can be seen, something pulls you back, just far enough to feel safe. And here's what makes it strange. You don't always feel afraid in those moments. Sometimes you just feel nothing, a flatness, a kind of automatic retreat, like a door closing before you even reach for the handle. Psychologists have a name for this pattern. It shows up in research on threat appraisal, in studies of behavioral inhibition, in the neuroscience of avoidance learning. But stripped of the jargon, the truth is simple. Your brain is doing its job. It learned what kept you safe, and it never stopped. Before we go further, you need to hear this clearly. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not self-sabotaging out of some hidden desire to fail. What you are is adaptive. The mind that keeps you small was once the mind that kept you whole. That needs to sit with you for a moment. The same system that feels like your enemy now was built by a version of you who needed protecting. A child, a teenager, someone in a room where being big had consequences, where standing out meant standing alone, where wanting too much meant losing something. The brain doesn't distinguish between then and now. It just remembers, this is what staying safe looks like. Let's go inside. The human brain has an ancient security system. Neuroscientists call part of it the amygdala, a small almond-shaped structure deep in the brain that monitors your environment for threat. It doesn't think, it reacts. And here's the crucial part. It learns. Every time you were exposed as a child and it hurt, the amygdala filed a report. Being visible equals danger. Every time you tried and were rejected, trying equals pain. Every time you were too much equals abandonment. These aren't memories exactly, they're calibrations. Over time, the brain builds what researchers call a threat schema, a kind of invisible map that marks certain experiences as unsafe long before your conscious mind can evaluate them. Think of it like a thermostat, not set for comfort, set for survival. And once calibrated for a small, controllable life, the thermostat kicks in every time the temperature of your life starts to rise. Opportunity feels like threat. Visibility feels like exposure. Growth feels like the edge of something dangerous. This is behavioral inhibition in action, a psychological trait well documented in temperament research, where the nervous system defaults to caution in the face of novelty or social evaluation. It's not a personality flaw, it's a dial, and dials can be adjusted. So how do you begin? Not with force, not with a dramatic leap. The nervous system doesn't respond well to ultimatums. It responds to evidence. Here are 5 principles, each grounded in how the brain actually changes. The first, name the pattern, not the person. When you feel yourself retreating, don't say, I'm so weak. Say, there's the pattern. Research in cognitive diffusion, developed by psychologist Stephen Hayes, shows that simply labeling a mental habit as a habit reduces its power over behavior. You are not the contraction. You are the one who notices it. The second makes safety the bridge, not the destination. The brain won't abandon safety. It's not designed to. So instead of forcing yourself past the fear, negotiate with it. Ask, what would the smallest visible version of this look like? One sentence spoken, one email sent, one door opened a crack. Neuroscience calls this graduated exposure. Each small act of visibility sends new data to the amygdala. This was safe. Over time, the threat map rewrites itself. The third, track evidence of your own capacity. The self-shrinking mind runs on a biased memory system. It remembers every failure with high resolution. It forgets every quiet win. Psychologist Rick Hanson describes this as the brain's negativity bias. We are, by design, Velcro for pain and Teflon for success. Counter it deliberately. Keep a record, not goals, of proof. Proof that you handled hard things. Proof that the world didn't end when you were seen. That record becomes a new kind of map. The fourth, grieve the cost of smallness. This one is quiet and necessary. Staying small has cost you something. Opportunities not taken, words not spoken, versions of yourself unexplored. Psychologists working in acceptance-based therapy emphasize that change rarely begins with motivation. It begins with honest acknowledgement of loss. Sitting with what the pattern has taken from you, without blame, without shame, is itself an act of expansion. The fifth, choose discomfort as data, not danger. When your chest tightens before something new, your body is not telling you to stop. It's telling you this matters. The physiological response to fear and excitement is nearly identical. What differs is only the story you attach to it. Researchers call this arousal reappraisal. When you tell yourself, I'm excited, instead of I'm terrified, performance improves, presence improves, life improves. The signal stays the same, only the meaning shifts. Here is one model to carry with you. Imagine the brain as a loyal guardian, one who learned the rules of your earliest world, a world that may have been unpredictable, critical, or cold. That guardian built walls, not to trap you, to protect you. And for a long time, those walls worked. But you are not in that room anymore, and the guardian doesn't know that. Your work now is not to fight the guardian, it's to update them, to show them slowly, gently, consistently. Look, it's different out here. We can take up more space. We don't have to be this small to be safe. You didn't choose this pattern, but you can choose what comes next. Not through force, not through discipline alone, through patience with the part of you that has been quietly, faithfully, exhaustingly trying to keep you from getting hurt. That part deserves some acknowledgement. It did its job. It kept you here. And now, maybe for the first time, you're ready to ask it to let you rise. There's no deadline on this, no performance required. Just a quiet, daily willingness to take up a little more space than yesterday. That's enough. That's everything.